Hey guys, I'm Dov, and today I'm back with some more Total War Warhammer. We are in the Norsca patch, and I am playing the Empire up against Norsca, so we're going to be in for a fun time here. And we'll go quickly over the army compositions here. I'll put it in slow motion as I talk through a few things. Just of note, I do have this worthless unit of Pistoliers out here. I mean, I say they're worthless. They're mostly terrible, but they can be okay. I figured, hey, why not bring them against the Beastmen? You never know. I had some extra funds, so probably would have been better spent elsewhere, but, you know, hey, why not have some fun? As well, for my build, I've got a front line of flagellants here, sort of my standard double-layer Empire strategy with the Free Company Militia behind and Spearmen for support. However, instead of bringing a light wizard, we indeed have a bright wizard, the Lore of Fire. Yes, indeed. So, as you guys know, the Skin Wolves are very strong, one of the best units the Norskins have for dealing with cavalry. And they do have regeneration, which makes them weak to fire. They also have trolls, Norscan trolls, some other stuff that has regeneration, and in general are somewhat weak to fire. Lore of Fire also has this spell here, which is, of course, if I can find it, the Flaming Sword of Ruin. So plus 22% weapon damage, plus 22% missile damage, which is very good against low armored targets, as well as imbuing fire and magical damage. So very good. You know, if the rage has procced and they have physical resistance, you can drop this and bypass that. Very, very good overall. I'm really liking the Lore of Fire against Norsca, and I think it's going to make a comeback. If you are fighting against Norsca. Definitely, if you have access to the Lore of Fire, I do think you want to bring it. So you can see these Norscan Warhounds. We'll get a nice look at these guys. Very cool looking. They're going to be chasing down these Pistoliers. They will eat some bullets, and the Pistoliers will get a few kills here. So I guess they're not completely worthless. But yeah, they are a bit slower, I think. Let's see, 92 for the Pistoliers and 95 for the Hounds. So yeah, they will get caught there. You can see some Marauder Horsemasters here as well. For my opponent's front line, he's got Marauder Berserkers, which is very interesting. No shields at all, so not too worried about ranged fire. But these guys can carve things up very well against Empire infantry. They will pretty much butcher them, anything except greatswords. I haven't really tested them too much against greatswords to see how they perform there. He also does have these Norscan trolls, so definitely having some fun here. Trolls are still not any good in multiplayer just because their leadership is so terrible, but hopefully Throg. I may post a Throg campaign. I'm not sure. What do you guys think? Would you be interested in watching me play campaign? Or should I just stick to multiplayer? I'm curious what you think. I may just post a campaign anyway, regardless of what you think, because it's my channel after all. But let me know what you guys think. I do value your feedback, so... Anyway, he's also got a Death Sorcerer here with, looks like just Soul Blight. He's literally stripped everything off and just got Soul Blight, so that's very interesting. Soul Blight's a great spell, but I'd probably still take Spirit Leech, although Boris is somewhat immune to it. You know, kind of a toss-up. Maybe Fate of Buna against a high-value target. And, yeah, we've got two Skin Wolves here, two Skin Wolves here. I think I got everything from his build. He is led by, of course, Wulfrik the Wanderer, cresting the hill now on foot. Very, very good-looking dude. Got some great armor and skulls and bones going on, so very cool. Definitely going to be one of my favorite new lords. And I apologize, guys, I'm not going to be having a Throg battle for a few days. I didn't get any good Throg battles. The one I had that would probably have been a great battle, my opponent quit out early. So that's a bit unfortunate, but, you know, we'll have to make do with this. And I did fail to mention for my build, the pièce de résistance, if you will. My French is terrible, so I probably butchered that, but, you know, the main killing power here is the Knights of the Blazing Sun. You guys saw them as I started the battle. Definitely one of the coolest looking units in the game, and I've been a little sad they haven't really had a good place. But I think against Norsca, they're going to be your go-to heavy cavalry option because they do have flaming attacks, of course. They've got a bit of magic resistance. They've got 76 charge bonus, which is one of the highest in the game, so they'll be devastating on the charge. They're not super tanky, only 100 in armor, 22 melee defense is fairly low, but 42 weapon strength is pretty good, and a lot to like here. The fire damage is very, very good against Skin Wolves, so I definitely like these guys against the Norskins, and I think you'll be seeing a lot more of them. You know, if you play Norsca against the Empire, you should be seeing them. So yeah, we'll go ahead and kick things off now into full speed. Over here we're just kind of getting a bit of a skirmish engagement. It's not going to be great for me, but I'm mostly just trying to pull these skin wolves away from this main battle so that I can get them isolated over here, maybe by these Knights of the Blazing Sun, maybe get Boris in there, because the skin wolves, they do have anti-large, but they don't necessarily have armor piercing. So, you know, 21 armor piercing plus 30 bonus versus large is pretty good, but yeah, I guess 51 weapon strength in total is pretty decent, but they don't have, you know, a high amount of traditional armor piercing. But you can see these Norscan Warhounds taking the fire for their Skinwolf brethren. That's probably good. They're fairly cheap units, so not great for the Pistoliers. They really have only got 6 kills on Hounds, and just not cost effective so far. Yeah, Pistoliers are just the worst, pretty much. I really like Skirmish Cav, but Pistoliers, their range is terrible, their combat stats are terrible, they're overpriced. These guys are really just very, very poor, so not a fan. We can see here the Skin Wolves. My opponent's trying to maneuver them around this flank. However, I do have these Knights of the Blazing Sun hidden in the woods here, so he doesn't realize the danger. He does just discover these Knights of the Blazing Sun here, and we're going to get them charging in just a moment here on these Skin Wolves. The Norscan Warhounds do catch the Pistoliers, and they will beat them. Now you can see the Knights of the Blazing Sun activating. They're going to be charging into these foul werewolves, and very beautiful engagement as they start lancing them down. And this first unit here that charged in, you can see, is pretty much immediately gone. But the second unit will turn around and start to deal a substantial amount of damage there to these Knights of the Blazing Sun. Over on this flank, I've not activated these two groups, and we are chasing down these Skin Wolves. They are running frantically back towards their lines. And my opponent's going to try and group up with his infantry here and get a nice counter charge. But he does stop microing here. I think he was microing elsewhere on the battle, so we are hopefully going to be able to catch him here. But nope, looks like he's sending the Brutes of the Hound to intercept. But it does look like my Knights of the Blazing Sun still get somewhat of a charge here against these Skin Wolves, so that's pretty good for me. You can see now looks like Soul Blight's going to be going down over here to help those Brutes of the Hound do quite a bit of damage against those Knights of the Blazing Sun, actually, so very good play from my opponent. However, you can see how quick those Skin Wolves are getting beat down by the Knights of the Blazing Sun, despite their anti-large, regeneration, and, you know, very good stats. So I definitely like this counter to the Skin Wolves. You know, the Knights of the Blazing Sun are a very good counter. So over here, these Free Company Militia are squaring off against these Marauder Horsemasters. These Skin Wolves were able to chase off the Knights of the Blazing Sun that were here. However, Boris has come in, and he's going to be able to finish off that group of Skin Wolves. We are getting the mainline engagement underway here as these Flagellants start battling these Marauder Berserkers in what is definitely going to be a short fight. The Trolls are able to push straight through the line and get into these Free Company Militia. However, we're going to get a nice fireball in on them. It takes down one Troll model, so that's great. Anytime you can kill a Troll model, that will bring their, you know, regeneration, the amount they're able to regenerate down. They're going to pull away from these spears here and get into the back of the Flagellants, which they will be able to do quite a bit of damage, but it's not going to, you know, do morale damage because they are unbreakable. So it's just allowing my Free Company to continue to fire. You can see both these Skin Wolves routed off by the Knights of the Blazing Sun. These Skin Wolves here getting terrified off by Boris, and these Marauder Horsemasters are able to get, you know, a fair amount of damage done, but they don't have a great amount of armor piercing, so over here you can see these Marauders have pushed through. They're now engaging the second line of spears, and they'll be able to cut through them with no problem. So hopefully the goal is that I can hold long enough to make the Free Company Militia pay off, because they'll be able to do quite a bit of damage against these you know, Marauder Berserkers. So they're going to be firing through here. You can see these units getting caught somewhat by these Berserkers. It's a bit unfortunate, so I'm going to activate the next unit of spears and just pull back. And because of this kind of piecemeal nature of the engagement, because I don't have the Nets of Amantok, I'm forced to use, you know, the Spearmen when I otherwise would have been able to just stand and shoot. But these group of Marauders here are going to get into this Free Company Militia. Wulfrik's pulling through as well, but took a little bit of a volley there. These Free Company are pretty much able to fire freely, and they are getting hit by the Flaming Sword of Ruin, so that is going to give them increased missile damage. They're shooting down here from this high ground into these Marauders in this river, the Steer River, if I'm not mistaken. So a very fun thematic battle so far. You can see the Knights of the Blazing Sun cycling in and out now on these relatively squishy, you know, Marauder Berserkers. They will take quite a bit of damage every cycle charge, so we're just continuing to pull away, allowing the Free Company Militia to fire. Just continuing to fend off the Marauder Horsemasters. Boris is now returning to the fight and is going to be taking on Wulfrik. And Wulfrik on foot is going to be no match for Boris. I'm not sure if he had the Hunter of Champions up, but he definitely needs to be dropping it like yesterday on Boris if he wants to have any hope of surviving in this fight. He's now getting shot in the back as well by the Free Company Militia. That's doing a fair amount of morale damage here, and it's actually going to allow Boris to terror route him off in just a moment. You can see another fireball coming down, blowing up another troll. So a fireball's back, guys. Definitely good against... I've seen it used to good effect against Throg, and it's pretty good against the Norscan trolls, so fun time. You can see Wulfrik's not too happy about the situation right now. He's going to come back from routing briefly, but again, just go back into combat with Boris. These Marauder Berserkers are getting back here, getting into the Free Company Militia, but because of this Arc of Fire, I'm able to just, you know, turn this one and shoot him in the back. They're getting hit now by the Flaming Sword of Ruin, so giving them increased missile damage, as well as these Flagellants here getting hit, and the Spearmen giving them increased weapon damage and magic attacks, punching right through the enrage here of the Marauder Berserkers. So, or the Berserk, sorry. So, at that, my opponent does admit defeat, saying that most of his forces were somewhat crumbled. I think that was maybe a little premature, but he was fairly well beaten at that point, and Wulfrik was not in good shape. You can see he's routing off, so... very fun battle, well played to my opponent. I think that Skinwolves are going to be a bit of a risk against the Empire because of Knights of the Blazing Sun. You can see all 3 Knights of the Blazing Sun got a chevron. And those were not handed out at the beginning of the battle, so all of those came from killing Skinwolves and Berserkers and so on. You can see this Skinwolf that was able to get in as the 2nd unit and able to get quite a bit of damage on the Knights of the Blazing Sun. They got a chevron and they were able to actually defeat that unit, so I think if you had maybe more Norscan Warhounds to break the charge, then... you know, the Skinwolves could get in there and do quite a bit of damage to the Knights of Blazing Sun. As long as they don't take the charge directly, I think they can win that fight. But if they take the charge head-on, they're going to get destroyed in a big hurry. You can see the Free Company Militia doing fairly well. This one not getting any kills, but doing some damage. The morale damage is important as well. Flagellants pretty much got carved up by the Berserkers, so that's a good tip for you guys. Flagellants will lose hands down to Berserkers, so just so you know. Spearmen also getting... mostly butchered, but able to hold the line for just long enough that the Knights of the Blazing Sun and the Free Company could do their work. Boris doing some okay work, wasn't terribly useful in the battle, but did get off those Skinwolves, as well as, you know, getting Throg, not Throg, Wulfrik. So I guess that was very important. Fending off Wulfrik is probably what forced my opponent to eventually admit defeat. I'm not sure, but definitely enjoyed playing. Well played to my opponent. I hope you guys enjoyed watching that. And yeah, we'll have more Norsca content coming soon. I've been pre-recording these to be uploaded while I'm away at work all weekend. So come Sunday night or Monday morning, we'll be having more videos coming up. I'll be fighting some more battles to get you guys some more variety, some fresh looks at some new things. So very fun time. Stay tuned for more content. If you're liking so far, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.